everybody, it's Jeff from New York, and we are back in New Orleans, one of my favorite cities in the country, and we're going to visit the Audubon Zoo, which is part of the Audubon Nature Institute, which also manages the Aquarium of the Americas, which is here in New Orleans, and I did do a video on the Aquarium of the Americas, so make sure you check that video out as well. Audubon Zoo is a large zoo covering 58 acres and is home to 2,000 animals. It's located in a section of the Autobahn Park in uptown New Orleans. Now again, there's a Audubon Park video on this channel as well. And as far as being uptown New Orleans, there is so much, and I can't stress this, so much more to New Orleans than the French Quarter. So if you have 2 or 3 days, yeah, you're probably going to want to spend it in the French Quarter. Anything more than that, check outside the quarter. It's such an amazing city, dripping in culture. The zoo and Audubon Park are named in honor of the artist and naturalist John James Audubon, who lived in New Orleans starting in 1821. Right now, we hopped on the Magazine Street streetcar. New Orleans has a bunch of streetcars that'll pretty much take you anywhere around the city. Most of them do meet down on Canal Street, which is right on the edge of the French Quarter. So if you are staying in the quarter, it's a great way to get around the city. We are on the Magazine streetcar right now, riding along, of course, Magazine Street. Next time I'm down in New Orleans, which will probably be this fall, I'll do a video on all these streetcars. They're pretty fascinating and historic as well. Magazine Street has a bunch of local shops, restaurants, and commercial businesses. It's a great place to stop off if you want to hop off the streetcar, spend a half hour, an hour here, or have a cup of coffee in one of the many coffee shops along Magazine Street, and then hop back on if you want to take a quick break before you head over to the zoo. So from Canal Street in the French Quarter to Audubon Park, which is where we're going to get off, it's about a half-hour ride, maybe a little bit longer, maybe a tiny bit shorter. It depends on how many stops the streetcar makes along the way. Okay, so we got off the streetcar. We are at the edges of Audubon Park and the Audubon Zoo. Again, the Audubon Park, there's a video on this channel if you want to check that out, but we're going to start heading towards the zoo now. There's something about Louisiana trees, they just don't grow them like this anywhere else in the country. Both the park and the zoo are on the riverside of Magazine Street, and if you need to know or need to ask what river I'm speaking about, well, you haven't watched enough of these videos. I'm talking about the mighty Mississippi. Right behind the zoo is a butterfly trail, which is in Butterfly Park, and that runs along the river. We're going to check that out after a couple more videos here in New Orleans, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And again, the river and the park are right behind the zoo here. And here we are, the Audubon Zoo, less than a 2-minute walk from where the streetcar left us off on Magazine Street. Just a reminder, this is Cray Cray the Crawfish from Louisiana. He shows up somewhere in all my New Orleans videos, so please help me find him. Be the first to spot Cray Cray in this video and leave a comment below with the timestamp you spotted him, and you'll get a shout out on an upcoming video on this channel. And as soon as we walk in, we have some beautiful pink flamingos on the right hand side here. Did I say flamingo? Well, that reminds me. I have a trip to Las Vegas coming up in a few short weeks. Not sure if I'll be able to go, but if I do, lots more videos coming up shortly. And if I don't, I still have a lot of Vegas videos I haven't shown yet, so they'll be coming up shortly if I don't make it to this trip. And now, back to these New Orleans flamingos. They're very pretty, and come on, fess up. Who here watching has never had a pink plastic flamingo or wished they had a pink plastic flamingo somewhere around their house? Leave a comment below. So the zoo is quite large, like I said, 58 acres, so the video is going to be in 2 parts or else it would be incredibly long, so I just cut it in half. We came in through the main entrance in the front here, and you can see it's nice and wide open. As we get deeper and deeper into the zoo and visit the different lands like the Asia and swampland and things like that, there's lots of hidden trails and things that you can wander off into, and it's pretty nice. So the zoo was really nice. It's nice and clean. Unfortunately, the day I came, they were power washing because that's my luck. Of course, I come on a weekday to avoid the crowds, so that's what you get sometimes for coming on weekdays. You get some maintenance, but like I said, they do maintain the zoo very nicely. And here we have a beautiful bronze whooping crane. And here we have some crane eggs. By the way, I hate eggs. I don't like them scrambled, I don't like them hard boiled, I don't like them in omelets, I just plain hate eggs. There, now you know something else about me. Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the bronze statue, you've seen the fake eggs. Now let your eyes behold live whooping cranes. Apparently, birds' feet come in many different varieties for many different situations. And here we have a little bronze duck family embedded in the sidewalk. That, my friends, is a tripping hazard waiting to happen. I'm going to bring the background volume up for a second just so you know what I'm dealing with as far as this power washing is concerned. By the way, the Audubon Zoo is consistently one of the country's top-ranked zoos, voted as one of the top 10 zoos in the country by USA Today's 10 Best Reader poll, and ranked as one of the top things to do while visiting New Orleans. This beautiful fountain here near the end of the main entrance of the zoo acts as a hub or a focal point where you can go off into different directions of the view, as you can see by this sign. There's the Asia section, there's Africa, there's a swamp, there's a splash play park that shows you where the exit is, and of course, when in doubt, you can just follow the sign that says More Zoo. This beautiful fountain features some of the zoo's more popular animals and creates a perfect photo opportunity. And if you notice, there's powerful gushes of water coming out from behind the seating area of the fountain, which makes the fountain extend beyond the main feature. It's pretty cool. Speaking of pretty cool, it's not. It's late morning here. I'm here, I don't know, I guess it's about 10 or 11 o'clock here in the morning, late morning, and it's already almost 90 degrees, and I don't need to tell you it is extremely humid, which it always is in New Orleans. When I visit these cities on my New York channel, I do at least 10 miles, probably more a day in walking. And in New Orleans, that can be pretty taxing on the body, so drink lots and lots of water. I usually pack at least 6 regular bottles of water in my backpack. When necessary, go into the shade, go into air conditioning. Just keep an eye on how you're feeling and how hydrated you are, and whether you're thirsty or not, just keep drinking water, you'll be fine. We are now entering the Asia section of the Audubon Zoo. Here we have an ape exhibit. Apparently the ape just gave birth, so they're pretty much hiding out, but I see them up there in the upper right-hand corner, about halfway up that pole. On a blue tarp, it looks like. So see if you can spot them. And I'm looking at the sign. Did you know the difference between apes and monkeys? One of the big differences, apes don't have tails, monkeys do. So there you go. The Asia section is one of the prettier sections of the zoo. They're all pretty, but this is one of the prettier ones. I love that cement Asian bench. There's a couple of them around here. I'd love one for my garden, but I think they'd notice me taking one out of the zoo. And of course, there again are the Louisiana trees. Beautiful. And it looks like we're going to come across some big cats here. Speaking of big cats, has anyone seen Tiger King yet? Is that a bunch of dysfunctional people or what? Leave your comments below if you've seen it. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, silly, it's an Amur leopard. I have two adopted cats here at home, Tom and Jerry. Some of you know that. They're not quite as big as this leopard, but they're just as sure-footed. Let's see if I can turn on the New York charm and coax her closer to us. Hey, baby, how you doing? I got a pocket full of tender victuals for you. That's right, honey. Come to Poppy. I'm digging that outfit. Is that real leopard skin? Hey, where you going? Don't be afraid. Oh well, works like a charm in the French Quarter. She is panting and pacing. Like I said, it's very warm out and humid, but she looks like she has plenty of water and she looks healthy. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about caged animals. It's amazing how healthy all this vegetation is, but New Orleans is just like a hothouse. So there's supposed to be a sun bear in this exhibit, but I can't find it. A couple of these exhibits, it's hard to find the animals. Most of them are either in the shade or sometimes in a cave in the exhibit. But if you spot something that I can't see, just let me know in the comments below so we can all check it out. Not quite sure what this area is in the Asia area. However, several parts of this zoo, it looks like they set aside for private parties. So this might be one of those areas where they, if you want to have a private party at the zoo, they block it off for you. I'm not sure if that's the case here, but it just kind of reminds me of that type of an area. The area does look a little neglected. It needs some landscape trimming and some power washing. Did I mention power washing? Maybe they're on their way here. And it's a little neglected, so it could use some tidying up before they throw their next party here, that's for sure. Alrighty, let's move along. Let's go, people. Find your tour buddy. We're walking, we're walking, we're walking. I think I'd be an excellent tour guide. Hey, everybody shut up and stay in line, and no pictures until this tour's over. You, with the cell phone. I told you to leave it on the bus. See? That was just an example. What are your thoughts? These here are Asian Barbarosas. Ever hear the term, a face only a mother could love? Well, here you go. However, according to the sign, these Barbarosas love crawfish and crabs, so I guess if one asked me on a dinner date, it would be hard to say no. These here are called barrasingas, also known as swamp deer. They're known for their 12 horns. By the way, if you're looking for more than 12 horns, I suggest you check out Bourbon Street. The covered walkway in the Asian areas is a nice addition because it keeps the sun off your head, and of course, if it's raining, it keeps the rain off of you. You don't see it in too many other places in the zoo. And here you have the bar-headed goose, or if there's more than one, it's the bar-headed geese. If you're looking for bar-headed people, I suggest you check out Bourbon Street. I'm sorry. Okay, that's my last Bourbon Street joke for now. I said for now. So I just happened to glance across the walkway back at the Barbarossa exhibit, and I noticed a sign that said there was an Asian small-clawed otter in here. Those of you who follow me know that I love otters, and I mentioned that in some of my videos, especially the aquarium ones. Otters are extremely friendly, family-oriented, very intelligent, and love to play in the mud along riverbeds. Sounds a lot like me, and perhaps that's why I'm attracted to them. Do you see the little guy there? He's so cute. I want to take him home in my carry-on. Here's a sign for a tiger, but I don't see him or her, so apparently it's napping somewhere in the shade. Tigers, of course, are serious cats that require serious barriers. There's no sign for this animal. I don't know what it is. Oh dear. And now we're heading towards the Asian elephant area, and this is the Elephant Education Pavilion. And here we have a dissection, if you will, an artificial dissection of an elephant. It shows the digestive system, the heart, which is about the size of your standard beach ball, it's huge, and the trunk, which is extremely muscular. And here's some information that says Asian elephants are found in Asia. Surprise! Right now, I'm digging the shade. And there's the zoo's elephant information desk, and yes, they do have one. I asked the person behind the desk, what do you get when you cross an elephant with a rhinoceros? And they looked a bit puzzled and said, "Hell if I know." And here are the real things, Asian elephants. Lizard. Oops. And we've pretty much come full circle to where we entered the Asian area. This is the orangutan cage, again, where the orangutan just gave birth to a little baby. This is another view. Orangutans apparently, obviously, love to climb. They love abandoned buildings, I guess. So this is a perfect habitat for them. Here's a little pollination garden that likes to attract a lot of butterflies and bees, or pollinators, if you will. And no worries, the bees won't bother you or your children unless, of course, you're wearing that cheap J-Lo perfume or you're telling bad queen bee jokes. Alrighty, that was Asia. We're back at the hub where we walked in. We're going to go around under this squirting fountain here, and we're going to make a right and head towards the water park playground for children. I know a zoo is geared towards kids, but this area that we're heading into seems to be particularly kids themed. It's got the splash playground that we're coming up to, as well as a endangered species carousel, some snacks and drinks areas, as well as dress rooms. Notice the dancing fountains from container to container. And of course, because I'm here today, the water fountain playground, or the Cool Zoo as it's known here, is closed. Not sure if it's because it's a weekday or there's a maintenance issue or if it's even just too hot and humid for kids to play in a water playground, but maybe next time. Let's check out that endangered species carousel. Here's a dedication plaque to the Endangered Species Carousel, and I think it's a great idea. It features animals that are either endangered or extinct. And what do you know, it too is closed for maintenance, but I think this carousel is a great idea for everyone. It shows endangered or extinct species. Note that white alligator with the blue eyes. There's only one in captivity here, and it's at the, of course, the Audubon Zoo here in New Orleans. The real white alligator with blue eyes is here in the Audubon Zoo. I'm not sure if it's on this video or the next one coming up, but it's very rare, and if you're at this carousel and it's actually running, that's the prize seat to get. Here is the pickup station for the swamp tram, which will take you to the swamp area of the zoo. But I suggest, if you're not too hot or exhausted, to walk over there, because you'll miss a lot if you take the tram. And throughout the zoo, you'll find lots of markers to let you know where you are and where you can go. And there is the swamp tram that I spoke about. The zoo has lots of places to catch a bite and drink, including the Flamingo Cafe, Zoofari Cafe, Cypress Knee Cafe, Roman Candy, Carousel Concessions, and Gator Bites. Of course, most of them are closed because I'm here today. I mean, right now I can go for a nice cold beer and a salted pretzel. Now in Midtown Manhattan, back in New York, not a problem 24/7. I'm just glad I threw a lot of water and some snacks in my backpack before I left the hotel today. There's another tip for you. Ah, some nice shade. And now, according to my map that I picked up at the entrance of the zoo, we should be coming upon the world of primates right around this corner. The zoo's World of Primates exhibit features western lowland gorillas, always a crowd favorite, striking lemurs, loud siamings, mandrills, and golden lion tamarins. And here we have a little cheat sheet that shows all the animals in this area as well as a little bit about them. This exhibit features black and white ruffed lemurs. And there they are with their long tails for hanging around. We've been through almost half of the zoo at this point, maybe a little less than half, and I have to say the way they break up the different areas, like right now we're in the world of primates, each area is not only different animals, but they're designed completely different with different materials. For example, this has a paved walkway with the wooden fences. Very nice, and as we go along, you'll see probably in the second video on the zoo, a lot of winding trails with dirt paths and not so many fences, and everything just seems to be themed differently, and that's really nice. It takes you from one world to another. Here are some signs that saying we should see the golden lion tamarin as well as the white-faced saki. So what surprises me here is there's no fences or anything, so I guess these things are just wild and stay around in the zoo here. And I do see them. If you look closer, you'll see them swinging in the trees. This area is really beautiful and built up nicely. Obviously, most of it's man-made, including those waterfalls. There's really no large body of water around here except for, of course, the Mississippi, and that's not where this water's coming from. Colobus monkeys live in small groups of 1 to 2 males and 3 to 10 females. That's a nice ratio if you ask me. Their newborn offspring are completely white, developing their characteristic distinctive coloration as they mature. They are native to Africa and are vegetarians, and they have no thumbs, so they should see me because I've been told on many occasions I'm all thumbs. So far, I have to say, in my opinion, this is so far the prettiest part of the zoo. And I'm really digging the shade and breeze right now. Here we have a siamag exhibit. Siamags have large vocal sacs under their chins, which, when inflated, amplifies their calls. The calls can be heard for over a mile away and establish their territory, and male and females tend to sing together to strengthen their bond. These are black howler monkeys, and they have a loud, low roaring call that can be heard over long distance, which pretty much establishes their territory against other groups of black howler monkeys. They guard their territory against all outsiders, including humans, but apparently not ducks. There's one down there. They don't like humans, and they tend to throw their food at them, so the zoo's warning you about that if you get too close. And the males are always black, females are always blonde. Male babies change color as they grow from blonde to black. These are mandrills, and they're related to baboons. The mandrill is the largest and most colorful of the Old World monkeys, Old World monkeys being those that come from Africa and Asia. They're also known for their extremely colorful faces and butts, and they serve two purposes, these colorful features. One to attract the female species, and the other so that they can see each other through the thick foliage in the forest and follow each other during the daytime. They're extremely sociable animals and live in groups, and they sleep in different trees every night as they travel. And here we have the lowland gorilla, one of the more popular exhibits here at the zoo. This guy, or gal, I'm not sure, and I don't want to get close enough to find out, is seeking shade and carrying around its security blanket. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. When you do, you're automatically enrolled in the next $50 gift card giveaway here on the New York channel. Well, guys, that pretty much wraps it up for part 1 of the Audubon Zoo. Part 2 will be released next, so make sure you subscribe to the channel and check out the next video as it comes out. That part 2 is going to feature Africa, South America, and the good old Louisiana swamp. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like, comment, ask some questions, and most importantly, subscribe by clicking on the button on the left. You can visit all of my New York videos by clicking on the top right, or check out my videos on other favorite places to visit by clicking on the bottom right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you around the city.